What's good, y'all? Welcome back. Double XL's Who Am I Live? This week we have Lakeyah from Quality Control. I'm sure you've heard her songs, you've seen her around. She's definitely been making a lot of noise over the last year and a half. And she'll be in here shortly once I get her in. First of all, thanks everybody for pulling up. Hello, hi. Hello, what's good?
Hey.
Thank you for doing this. Happy to have you on the show. I think you're a good fit for it. You got a lot going on. You made a lot of noise.
Thanks.
Um, okay, first off, how are you doing today? What city are you in right now?
I'm in Atlanta. I stay here. I'm doing real good. How you doing?
Okay, I'm great. I'm hanging in there, hanging in there. Okay, so let's talk about your career and the stuff you've been doing. We've talked before about kind of what you got going on, but even in that short time, that was just a couple months ago. You've still done a lot, even since then. Um, so even back in the day when you were like putting freestyles on social media and stuff like that, before you had even got to this point where you had all these like huge things going on, kind of, did you see yourself coming to this point and like even going beyond that?
Yes. Like, I remember being signed. Like, I really wanted to be signed to QC, and I knew I wasn't gonna do nothing else but be a rapper. So I definitely knew I was gonna
Mm-hmm.
be somebody was gonna get me, and I was gonna prosper. So I always believed in myself, and
Right.
my fans did too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think I've noticed that too. Like your fans are serious everywhere. Like like on your page, Twitter, can't nobody say nothing about you. And
Okay.
you put something out, they going crazy, they riding for you. And I think that's really cool, especially because it's early in your career, and they're still so committed to you already.
Yes, I love that for me. I love
Right.
my.
Um, okay, so talking about kind of the early days, how did you like stay committed to because you started out with poetry and stuff like that, then you transitioned into rap. Um, like how did you stay committed and like stay on that road? Because I know you always felt, oh, I'm gonna be something, I'm gonna go somewhere with this. But the road can be tough sometimes. So kind of what kept you focused?
I'm not gonna lie, it was getting recognition from like celebrities that I was doing my own rendition to their songs. I had Janae Aiko repost me. Who was like Tank, like Jennings, just people just noticing me. It just kept me going, and my family and
Right. No, I get it for sure. I think too, like even though celebrity recognition thing, like I totally get that because that's a big deal, especially when you're like coming up. It,
yes, I'm fine.
you good? Okay, yeah, it was going in and out. Dun, dun, dun. All right, you can hear me? Oh yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, okay. But yeah, I mean, even with the celebrity recognition thing, like it is a big deal, especially when you're coming up and you see these people that are like on these huge high levels. They're noticing you and they respect what you do. So that shows you going in the right direction.
Yes.
Um, with you too, I think even when you first like came out and more people became started to become aware of you, I think the first thing they noticed is that like you can really rap, and you know you showed that as like you showed that. I mean, just being honest, but you showed that as like a early strength.
Yes.
Um, kind of how did you get to that point? Like how did like like your current style, like kind of how you rap now? Like how did you kind of grow into that?
Honestly, it came with like me just becoming more confident. Like even from my first project with QC, like you can hear the growth in my stuff. So it's like it came with confidence. People like, oh, she hard. It just makes me want to like show people that I really am because I know I'm good, but I'm also my biggest fan. So I don't want to get too cocky or anything. So when people say I'm really good, I always aim to be better. So from
Right,
up to in due time, you can definitely hear the growth, and I'm not stopping there. These are just mixtapes. Like,
right, right. When did it kind of hit you where you were like, all right, yo, I'm really good? Like, what did you like? Do you remember the first time you thought, yo, I'm really good?
when Lil Baby says like, oh, I don't know who she is, but she cold as hell. Like when I did his remix, what was it? We Paid, and then I got
Hmm.
after that. So I mean,
right. That was all the proof you needed.
was
Right. I remember when the big Flexor video came out, and it was like crazy unique because it wasn't anything that we had seen, particularly from like a female rapper, not like you rapping in that style, not even shooting that kind of video, really. And I feel like you've talked about this before, but I feel like you kind of knew, like, once this video and this song gets out, like once they kind of see what I'm really trying to do, it's gonna make a splash and it's gonna work immediately.
man, like when I dropped Big Flexor, I honestly wasn't even thinking about what anybody else was gonna like think of
Mm-hmm.
it, because that was something, you know, that was my culture. I came from Milwaukee. It's like a Midwest sound. I really wanted to bring it to the industry. I didn't want to get signed to like change who I was, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I'm so glad I'm signed to QC, because they don't try to change me. They love that I'm a writer. I write all my stuff. You know, they like my sound. You know, they're not trying to change me. They just letting me grow with them, you know?
Right. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Like the Milwaukee, like, why is like kind of get put in Milwaukee and let Milwaukee shine? Why was that so important to you?
Because Milwaukee don't get no light. Like me getting picked up, I didn't get picked up when I was living there, you know. So I came out to Atlanta to chase my dream, and like it's so many like talented people there. And when I get on like completely and I know what I'm doing and stuff, I'm definitely gonna go back home, make sure I can help some people out, because it's talent everywhere in places people don't look, you know.
Right.
People don't even know where Milwaukee is. So I try to be the person. Like, it's in Wisconsin. It's right next to Chicago, y'all.
Right, right, right. Um, so okay, so that video comes out, right?
Mm.
It does well. Everybody's talking about it and stuff like that. Kind of like where's your mind at that point? Like, kind of what are you thinking at this point?
That is my favorite video. Like, at that point, I'm like, dang, I'm really sound like everybody else in Milwaukee was so geeked about my QC chain. They was more excited than me because, you know, who out there wearing a Cuban with QC on it, on the pendant?
Uh,
But it just made me feel like, dang, I'm really signed. Like, I really made it, you know?
right.
Thoughts, definitely.
Right. I mean, it's a great video. It's a really good song. Like, I totally get it. I think it was like I think it was a really strong way to kind of debut you as like a QC act and like show you off to everybody. Like, it did exactly what it needed to do.
I think so, too.
Right. You had Windows shortly after that, which is like totally different song. But it did pretty much just as well. Like, people liked it just as much. I know that you have told me before that your fans really love when you do like more R&B, romantic relationship stuff.
Yes.
But how do you get in the mindset to kind of make a song like that as opposed to like the other kind of stuff you make?
Going through it, like, girl going through the relationship stuff. It's like I was blessed with the talent to be able to put it in songs, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Blessing, and I'm able to speak for other people. So I definitely just be going through it. I'm just like any other girl.
Right.
Real.
Right. Um, how did you like kind of notice that you can do both of those? Like, kind of how did you come upon that discovery? Because you came in with
Yeah.
rap, but you can do other stuff.
So I always knew I could sing. I was just too shy to sing in front of people. Like I never did. I don't even remember one time I did like a talent show or anything. Like I was way too shy. So that's why it's so surprising that I'm like a rapper and all that stuff, because I always knew I could sing. So I just decided, because a big influence for me was Tink when I was like in middle school. So
Right.
I music and she was into the singing and rapping. So I figured I want to incorporate both when I was doing like remixes and stuff. So that's how I came about that. But I always knew I could sing. The
Right.
rapping talent that just appeared.
Right. Nah, that's crazy. I think it's always like really interesting when people kind of come in, like you came in with multiple talents realistically, and they all kind of blossomed into this, where you get to this point and you're comfortable doing pretty much anything you need to do in the studio, really.
Right.
Right. Um. Okay, so I know earlier you brought up Time's Up and In Due Time, and talking about like the growth between the two. I think the thing that was like really striking to me about it was like there wasn't that much time between the two of them. Like, like when I found out you were coming back, like you found out you were making another project, because when I found out you were making another project, I was like, oh, all right, cool. And then it like really happened. You put it out, and it was like you can tell that you are like getting better at the craft and stuff like that. Like the music is different. You can feel kind of the growth in it. I mean, you can speak to it kind of between those two projects. Like, what's the changes that you felt like in yourself and in your music?
I was way, way, way more confident when I went in the studio and started recording in due time because I was getting so much positive feedback from Time's Up. And that was my first project with like this huge label that got Migos on it, City Girls, Baby, you know. So at first I was a little intimidated. I'm like, dang, people probably ain't gonna like the type of music I make. But so much positive feedback. So when I went in, which was like, I went right in after that dropped. I was just way more confident. You can hear it in my music. Like I just sound like I know what I'm doing, you know? Which
right, right. I mean, right. I mean, but like being fair, like you know, you already knew what you were doing, but I think the music on In Due Time just sounds more polished. It just sounds more like, yeah, I'm really ready for the next step. And I like it's like it's settled for you, like, all right, I'm really signed. I'm really on QC. Like, so this is a real thing happening to me right now.
And like I knew that, well, I would like see what other people thought, and I would take that into the studio. So people wanted to hear more beats that were like Atlanta type, and people wanted to hear more where it wasn't so much Detroit stuff. So I just tried to balance everything on this tape, make sure I'm accommodating everybody, and I think the tape is great.
Right. No, I think it really is good, and I think you really put yourself into it, and you know, you took the stuff that you were doing earlier and kind of, you know, took it to different levels and stuff like that. So now, you know, with all the success that you've had, like, kind of, what is it like? Like, what is it like with, like, you know, back home, friends you grew up with, stuff like that, people who've been fans of you since way before all of this? Like, kind of, what have the differences been like?
What's the differences? Well, I just feel like everybody been super, super proud of me. Like, you did a lot of research, but I did like this story back in the day, like 2018. I did like my own rendition to Trapped in a Closet story. So people are definitely like proud of me. They like, dang, that's the girl that did that with the braces and the glasses. Crochet twist. Like, yeah, that's me. I'm over here now.
No, I mean, it's cool, right? It's cool. I mean, I think you always love to see that as a fan, seeing somebody grow and, you know, they're really starting to make noise. And, you know, I think too, you're really close to your fans too. You're not like somebody who left them behind or anything like that.
I love them. They never hear, you know, when I was telling them to flood P comments and tell him to sign me, they was doing so, you know, make sure that he saw me. So they're a big part of where I am today, and they gonna always be a big part of me.
Yeah, they roll for you, for real. I wanted to ask about Poppin'. What was it like working with somebody like, you know, Gucci, legend, like like he's, you know, legend, and he's always been super, you know, tied in with younger and newer rappers. He's been showing them love for pretty much his whole career. So kind of, what was that like?
It was great. Like when we shot the video, he was like, "P's so excited about you, and you're great. I want you to work with Enchanting." Like they're so humble. Like being around them, it's just crazy to me. It's still so surreal. Like I'm meeting people like that. Like my first night I got signed to QC, I met Lil Baby and Yachty, and I was just like, damn, you know, like, can I get myself together first? But it's amazing to be a part of this, all of this, meeting all these people. And now I'm just waiting to meet Nicki Minaj.
No, it'll absolutely happen for sure. Do you have a favorite song on In Due Time?
Yes. I got a favorite song every other day, though. Right? It's too much, so everybody got to go watch that video because we just dropped it. But when it dropped, my favorite song was From the Bottom. Like, that's underrated. People haven't been talking about that song, but it's a bop. It really is.
Okay. No, I think that's cool. What'd you say?
What's yours?
Oh, what's mine? Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question. I think is it Young and Ratchet?
Yes. Oh,
yeah.
See, we're talking about that song.
Yeah. Like that was the one, like, that kind of like really jumped out to me off the first listen. But like I said, the whole thing is good. Like you really piece it together really well. So, you know, absolutely. For sure, you're welcome. So talking about your fans again, you know, you have a ton of them online. They really ride for you. They're really loyal to you and stuff like that. But you had fans online for a really long time, though. I think there's people are like, I think that's what kind of people kind of lose in the shuffle. Like this this is not that new to you, really.
Yeah, I came with followers and like the subscribers and the views and everything. What's different to me is just being on the label with these huge names. But
Mm-hmm.
else is pretty easy to me. You know, it's easy talking to you because I talk to my fans all day on live.
Right. Exactly. Right. And I think too, like, so it's cool because you don't really come off like you feel any like crazy pressure. You just believe in your talent. So that's it. Like
I do. Talent ain't gonna get me like all the way there. You know it. You
you
know I
gotta
got
work.
working,
Right.
consistent. Like definitely, but I definitely believe in my talent. I just hope that I can get to where I want to go. You know.
Right.
With,
What's your best story about a fan?
that's funny. Let's see. Let's figure one out. I just I just had a fan. I went to Top Golf the other day, and
Mm-hmm.
I got my blue hair. But every time I post like a new hairstyle, it do be going a little viral. So people be seeing me. So I'm sitting in front because we ran in there to go in the bathroom. Tokyo just saw me. And I'm like, hey. And then this other girl, she like, Lakeyah. She came in the car because I had the door kind of. She came in the car and touched my face. She was like, oh my God.
Oh
Like,
my god.
where it was on live. Looking like for real. I was on live. Oh my God. Like, I'm like, you know, I'm trying to do the little fake laugh, but the shit was real.
Yeah, you were trying to laugh it off. You're like, yeah, this is weird. Like,
Like, I'm like, never. She just,
that's crazy.
yeah.
No, that's crazy. That's crazy as hell. I don't know what I expected. I didn't expect a fan touched my face in the car. Like, yeah, I didn't. Wow.
And
Um,
I'm live. I wonder if I still got it.
it's got to be out there. Yeah, it's got to be out there somewhere. I'm absolutely gonna look for it after this.
But I love her because she loved me.
Right, of course. See that? Right. That's like a real legit fan. So of course, right. I totally get it. Um, so speaking about you know, Yachty, Baby, just being on QC and stuff like that. Have other artists given you like solid advice that you plan on using going forward? And like, is there any that you'd want to share?
All I know is that every artist that I've spoken to tells me like, you really hard. You just got to keep going. Cause you know, in this time right now, it's a lot of female artists out right now. And it's a lot of pressure to be a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
Telling me like, don't change, stay consistent, and people are just gonna gravitate towards you naturally. And I heard that from Yachty. I heard that from Baby. You know, just people tell me like, you really are gonna make it. Don't change who you are for like what you see other
Right.
people.
Right. No, I think
Because
that's excellent advice.
yeah, it is.
Um, okay, so outside of music, are there like avenues or things you want to get involved in that like were completely had nothing to do with music?
Acting, definitely. I hope that comes towards me. I'm a character, y'all. I just need to show more of my personality, but I definitely want to do something that got to do with hair, fashion. I love getting my hair done. You know, I just love getting glammed up. So, but yeah, I definitely want to get into the acting lane.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Do you have you ever like kind of thought about the fact that like, you know, just like you said, there's like a lot of women rappers and stuff like that, but you for each of y'all really, you doing it your own way inspires like other women to rap and stuff like that. And like even ones that come before you kind of like especially you with coming from out of Milwaukee and stuff like that, like
Yeah.
this like it's even more I think it shows even a little bit more just because you know you kind of have an underrated rap city.
Yes, I definitely have an underrated rap city. I'm just glad to be a part of this. Like sometimes people be asking me like, do you get intimidated because there's so many women out, or do you think about competition? I really don't. I'm just glad to be in
Mm-hmm.
the same category as these huge people like Megan Thee Stallion is that girl right now. You know, people
Right.
Megan and Cardi and just mulatto. People put me in
Right.
comparison to them, so I just think in that same.
Right. No, I get it too. I think right. Like I think it's like cool that you know a lot of the women in rap now like y'all don't see it as a thing of competition that y'all are against each other. You see it more as all we're all occupy the same world, and I think just y'all existing helps the other. Like, you know, like just y'all making music, period, helps everybody else out. You know, and I mean, you know, that's cool that you're not, you know, you don't get caught up in it. You just look at it as these are the people, these are my peers, and I just want to make good music. You know, and I think that's a positive.
And collab with them.
Right.
I'm ready.
Rolling Loud.
I've never been to Rolling Loud before, and my first time I'm gonna be performing, so that's just crazy to me. I've never been.
It's fun. I went in, was that 2018? That's weird. I'm struggling to remember. 2018. It's a fun time, and I'm not even an artist, you know. So it was
crazy because, you know, it's the first like big concert, the world opening up.
Right.
I'm excited. Right. I'm super excited. Then I believe like the whole QC gonna be on the stage. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think right. It's gonna be a great time, and I think, you know, I think it's gonna be huge for you too, because you get to really get out there and, you know, really show what you got for everybody. And also too, since there's so many artists, there are gonna be people too who kind of want to catch up with you who didn't have the chance to, and now y'all all in the same place. So, you know, I think it'll be great. And I'm like, really, when I saw you on the bill, I was really happy to see you there.
Really?
Yeah. No, for sure.
I'll be with you again.
I don't know. You said really like you didn't buy it. Like, oh, like for real? No, seriously. I mean it. Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm super excited, which is a good thing because, like I told you, I'm like super nervous and reserved sometimes.
Uh-huh.
So, but like I'm excited. I'm ready to get out there. I'm ready to be out there right now.
Right. Oh, for the record, you never come off as nervous. I don't know. Like, I know you never come off as nervous.
Oh, that's good then. It's all
right. Right. You're doing a great job. Okay, so just to wrap it up, like what's next? What do you have coming? I know you just dropped a video not too long ago. You just dropped a project like super recently. Kind of what are your next steps? What are you looking forward to?
Rolling Loud. I definitely look forward to collabing with some more artists. I'm always working on new music. So I don't know. I'm gonna say XP, but I think we're gonna be dropping another tape. Don't stop. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So, yeah.
No, definitely looking forward to that. Okay. So before we, you know, wrap it all up, is there anything you want to tell everybody? Anything you want to throw out there?
I love everybody on this live for watching, even if y'all not even talking about me. And I want everybody to go follow and go tune in to In Due Time. I just dropped a video a couple days ago, too much. So hope you guys go look out for it. And I'm Lakeyah, and you know, this is not the last y'all gonna see me. I'm the female go. Period.
Okay. That was perfect. Thank you. Thanks for doing this. All right, y'all.
Talking to you again.
For sure. Same.